So a lot of the leadership literature looks at who are leaders, how do they act, what are their personality traits, but there's not a lot on how is that read by the people that they intend to lead. So our goal in this article was really to understand what are the personality characteristics of followers and how do they map onto the personality characteristics of leaders to create a fit or not.
What this study was really trying to understand was how can we sort of flip the lens in terms of understanding, well, are transformational leaders or transformational leader behaviors, are they always effective with everyone? And what we found through this study is that they aren't, that some people, based off of certain personality characteristics and values, that they actually respond very poorly to transformational leaders. They see them as
Well, I think a lot of our work is very focused on employees and their experiences at work. And so I think with regard to a larger body of our research, we're really interested in the employee experience, how the employees are treated by managers, how they perceive the workplace, how the environment affects their daily lives. And so I think this is sort of a natural extension of that focus, that we're interested in understanding how followers experience their workplace, and not just, you know, when we look at leaders and what leaders do, how we can teach leaders to be better. Well, how are people defining better? What does that look like on the ground? And how does that affect how people might interact with their workplace and perceive the workplace more broadly? Yeah, so I think something surprising was that there were some pretty clear delineations between people who preferred charismatic leaders and practically oriented leaders, but we had fewer of those delineations that separated people out that preferred authoritarians. So I think we need some more work in this area, future research, to sort of sort out, are there other personality characteristics that our study did not include that might better delineate between these, or are there other leadership styles that we might need to include in upcoming studies to better understand the full spectrum of what are all the different types and styles of leadership, and then how are all of the different configurations of follower personalities mapping onto those personality characteristics.
So, you know, it's not necessarily that people are completely turned off by different styles of leading. They have their preferences, but people aren't easily categorized into one bin or another. Transformational leaders are very future-oriented. They differ in terms of emotion. They're very more kind of positively valenced. Pragmatic leaders are those who are really concerned about the here and the now, the concrete present moment and solving problems in the present moment. So they tend to be much more kind of practical and less sort of what you would characterize as idealistic. And a lot of people kind of like that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't like charismatic leaders. It's just their preference is more in one bin versus another. So that was an interesting finding from this study.
I think that this is important because companies dump a lot of money into training and leadership development training, in particular in high potential programs, to try to encourage people to become better leaders. And those solutions are often very blanket. They're very general solutions. And so I think what we're trying to say is, if every single one of your leaders is acting exactly the same, and yet you know that there's a diversity of type of people within your organization, that leadership style may only resonate with a particular group, right? So we're trying to say that your leadership behaviors might need to be varied or tailored depending upon who you're speaking to or who your audience is. And it's not just that there's one type of good leader.